classes. Now today in this video I am going to cover the next part of class 11th English snapshot book chapter 3 Ranga's marriage. Okay, now before starting this, let us know where we have ended our story in the previous video. We have ended our story when the villagers realized that Ranga did not change even after moving to the city. They disappeared as fast as a lump of sugar. The narrator waited till the crowd cleared and asked him about his well-being. Ranga noticed him and replied with full respect in a traditional way. Ranga had not noticed the narrator in the crowd before that moment. Okay, now let's see the next paragraph of this story. Para 11. Here I must draw your attention to this aspect of Ranga's character. He knew when it would be to his advantage to talk to someone and rightly assessed people's worth. As for his namaskara to me, he did not do it like any present-day boy, with his head up towards the sun, standing stiff like a pole without joint, jerking his body as if it was either a wand or a walking stick. Nor did he merely fold his hands. He bent low to touch my feet. "May you get married soon," I said, blessing him. After exchanging a few pleasantries, I left. Okay, now see the explanation. Ranga was not like other boy. He was very well behaved and well aware as to who could benefit him. He was one of those who could analyze someone's worth rightfully. For how he greeted the narrator, he bent low and touched his feet, thereby seeking his blessings. It was not the present-day namaskara where children would do it casually. It was a proper traditional way. The narrator blessed him that he might get married soon and then left. Okay, now see the next paragraph. Para 12. That afternoon, when I was resting, Ranga came to my house with a couple of oranges in his hand. A generous, considerate fellow. It would be a fine thing to have him marry, settle down, and be of service to society, I thought. For a while, we talked about this and that. Then I came to the point. "Rangappa, when do you plan to get married?" "I'm not going to get married now," he said. "Why not?" "I need to find the right girl. I know an officer who got married only 6 months ago. He is about 30 and his wife is 25. I am told they will be able to talk lovingly to each other. Let us say I married a young girl. She may take my words spoken in love as words spoken in anger. Recently, a troupe in Bangalore staged the play Sakuntala. There is no question of Dushyanta falling in love with Sakuntala if she were young, like the present-day brides, is there? What would have happened to Kalidasa play? If one gets married, it should be to a girl who is mature. Otherwise, one should remain a bachelor. That's why I'm not marrying now." Now the considerate meaning is thoughtful or concerned, and troupe here means a group of dancers, actors or other entertainers who tour to different venues. Okay, now listen the explanation. That afternoon, Ranga visited the author with a few oranges which the narrator thought was quite thoughtful of him. Thinking of how nice Ranga is, the author thought it would be a good deed to have him married to a girl just as nice as him. They chatted for a while and then the narrator asked Ranga about his views on getting married. Ranga expresses that he does not intend on marrying now because he intends on finding the right girl. He cites the example of an officer who got married at the age of 30 to a woman aged 25. Now, since these are both adults, they would understand each other's action and behavior. Whereas, suppose the narrator finds a girl who is very young, she could misunderstand his words or actions because she is not mature enough. He even mentioned the love story of Sakuntala and Dushyanta from Mahabharata, and that he would not have fallen in love with Sakuntala if she were too young. In that case, Kalidasa plays also would have not existed. That is why he intends on staying a bachelor till he finds the right girl. Okay, now see the next paragraph. Now see para 13. Is there any other reason? A man should marry a girl he admires. What we have now are arranged marriages. How can one admire a girl with milk stains on one side of her face and wetness on other, or so young that she doesn't even know how to bite her fingers? One a neem fruit, the other a bitter gourd. Exactly, Ranga said, laughing. I was distressed that the boy who I thought would make a good husband had decided to remain bachelor. After chatting for a little longer, Ranga laughed. I made up my mind right then that I would get him married. Now, what happened? See the explanation. The narrator is asking, is there any other reason of not marrying him? He said that a man should marry a girl he admires. He admires or he praises that girl. What we have now are arranged marriages. Means arranged marriages are in a culture. How can one admire a girl with milk stains? Means a immature girl cannot be admired by a boy. So here the means the boy was not ready to get married with that girl who is immature. For him, the girl is like a neem fruit and the other one is like a bitter gourd. So means this is the good example of immature couple. Okay, the narrator time to time insisting him to get married, but he decided to remain bachelor until he finds a perfect girl for himself. Okay, but the narrator was also rigid. He also made up his mind that he would get him married somehow. Okay, now see the next paragraph. Para 14. Rama Rao's niece, a pretty girl of 11, had come to stay with him. She was from a big town, so she knew how to play the veena and harmonium. She also had a sweet voice. Both her parents had died and her uncle had brought her home. Ranga was just a boy for her and she the most suitable bride for him. Now here the narrator introduces us to a new character in the story named Ratna. She is 11 years old and is Rama Rao's niece. She had lost both her parents, so her uncle brought her from the big town to his home with him. She had a great voice and could play harmonium and veena. The narrator thought that Ranga and Ratna would make a great pair. Okay, means Ratna is the most suitable girl for Ranga. Now see the next paragraph. Para 50. Since I was frequent visitor to Rama Rao's place, the girl was quite free with me. I completely forgot to mention her name. Ratna it was. The very next morning, I went to their house and told Rama Rao's wife, I will send some buttermilk for you. Ask Ratna to fetch it. Ratna came. It was a Friday, so she was wearing a grand sari. I told her to sit in my room and requested her to sing a song. I sent for Ranga. While she was singing the song, Krishnamurti in front of my eyes, Ranga reached the door. He stopped at the threshold. He did not want the singing to stop, but was curious to see the singer. Carefully, he peeped in. The light coming into the room was blocked. Ratna looked up and seeing the stranger there, abruptly stopped. Okay? Now here, threshold here means a strip of wood or stone forming the bottom of a doorway and cross in entering a house or a room. Okay? Now what happened? Ratna was quite familiar with the narrator as he visited Rama Rao's place frequently. The narrator thought of a plan to introduce Ratna to Ranga. He asked Rama to send Ratna to his place as he wanted to send some buttermilk for them. She came all dressed up. She was in a grand sari. The narrator insisted upon her to sing a song while he sent someone to call Ranga. Just see how the narrator was planning over there. Just as she was singing, Ranga arrived at the door. Her melancholic voice touched his ears and thus he didn't want to interrupt the singing, so he stood at the door. He was curious to see the singer and very cautiously he tried to have a look which disturbed the lighting in the room. The light which was coming inside the room was blocked at that moment. And when the light blocked, Ratna looked at the door. And on seeing a stranger, Ratna immediately stopped her singing. Okay? Now see the next paragraph. Para 16. Suppose you buy the best quality mango. You eat it slowly, savoring its peel before biting into the juicy flesh. You do not want to waste any part of it. Before you take another bite, the fruit slips out of your hand and falls to the ground. How do you feel? Ranga's face showed the same disappointment when the singing stopped. You sent for me, he asked as he came in and sat on a chair. Ratna stood at a distance, her head lowered. Ranga repeatedly glanced at her. Once our eyes met and he looked very embarrassed. No one spoke for a long while. Okay? Now listen the explanation. The narrator compares Ranga's situation to the disappointment of dropping a best quality mango on the floor just before having to truly enjoy it. Suppose if you are eating mango and the mango fruit is very favorite fruit for you and you are eating that, only you have taken one bite and when you are going to take another bite and by mistake that fruit falls down, what will happen? How will you feel? Definitely you will disappoint at that moment. The same condition happened with the Ranga. As the singing stopped, the Ranga became disappointed. Okay? Ratna was shy and thus looked downward whereas Ranga steadily glanced at her. Okay? It was as if something great had been stolen before one could fully enjoy it. There was an awkward silence in the room. Means Ranga was very curious to look at that girl who is singing at that moment, and he wanted to listen her song, but meanwhile after coming him, the song stopped, and he was unable to hear it, and he also wanted to see the singer. Okay, but everything was destroyed at that moment, and there was an awkward silence in the room. Okay, now see the next explanation. Para 17. It was my coming in that stopped the singing. Let me leave, words, mere words. The fellow said he would leave, but did not make a move. How can one expect words to match action in these days of Kali Yuga? Ratna ran inside, overcome by shyness. Now, see the explanation. After things went a bit awkward, Ranga said that he feels it was his coming that stopped the singing, so he must leave. But this is only for saying. Okay, he said that he must leave, but he couldn't. However, he couldn't move from there. The narrator makes fun of him because he had no intention of going. Okay, means he didn't want to move from that place, but again and again he said that I must leave. He jokes about it and says one cannot expect actions and words to match in the Kali Yuga. Means the actions and words both are different in this present day. Okay, now see the next paragraph. Para 18. After a while, Ranga asked, "Who is that girl, Swami? Who is that inside?" The lion wanted to know. The he-goat who had taken shelter in the temple replied, "Does it matter who I am? I am a poor animal who has already eaten 9 lions. I have vowed to eat one more. Tell me, are you male or female?" The lion fled the place in fear. It seems like the he-goat, I said. What does it matter to either of us who she is? I am already married and you are not the marrying kind. Okay, now listen the explanation. After a few minutes of awkward silence, Ranga finally asked the narrator about the girl who was singing. Now, the narrator compared the situation with the infamous story of the he-goat and the lion, where he is he-goat and Ranga, the lion. Okay? The narrator replies very cleverly and intends on seeing Ranga's interest in knowing about Ratna. Means at that moment Ranga was taking interest and he wanted to know about that girl. Who is that girl? Thus he says that who she is not of that much importance, because he is already married. Means narrator is already married and Ranga doesn't intend on marrying anytime soon. So why he needed to know about that girl? Because he was not having any interest in marriage. So why he want to know? Why he wanted to know about that girl? Is there any specific reason to know about that girl? Okay. Now see the next paragraph. Para 19. Very hopefully he asks, "She is not married then?" His voice did not betray his excitement, but I knew it was there. She was married a year ago. His face reveled like a roasted brinjal. After a while, Ranga left saying, I must go. I have work at home. I went to our Sastri the next morning and told him, keep everything ready to read the stars. I will come later. I tutored him in all that I wanted him to say. I found no change in Ranga when I met him that afternoon. What is the matter? You seem to be lost in thought. I said, nothing's wrong. Believe me, headache, come, let us go and see a doctor. Betray here means portray, okay? And shriveled hair means shrunken and wrinkled, especially as a result of loss of moisture. And tutored hair means taught. What happened? Hearing the narrator's reply, Ranga got excited. Although he did not show it, but was quite evident. He was excited of knowing that the girl was not married. Full of hope, he asked if she is not married yet, to which the narrator replied that she is, probably a year ago. Means at first the Ranga was excited and he came to know that the girl was not married. But the suddenly narrator said, no, she is married and she is married a year ago. Ranga was disappointed. Ranga became happy hearing this and disheartened, his heart broken. It was clearly all over his face. Means disappointment and disheartened can be seen on her face. He went away quoting some work. Our narrator, having staged certain liking in the mind of Ranga for Ratna, means the narrator was sure at that time that Ranga started liking Ratna. And knowing these all things, he went on to complete his play. Now he started planning about the Ranga's and Ratna's marriage. He went to the village Sastri and told him everything that he had to be said and done. Then he met Ranga that afternoon and he carried the same disappointment on his face. Upon asking if it is headache, the narrator tells him that they should go to see doctor. Means now he started working on his plan. And what was his plan? To get married with Ratna. Okay? He wanted Ranga to get married with Ratna. So he creates some situation that maybe it would be beneficial for Ranga. Okay? Now see the next paragraph. Para 20. And this is the last paragraph of this video. I have no headache. I am my usual self. I went through the same thing when the process of choosing a girl for me was going on. But I don't think that could be a reason for your present condition. Now, Ranga stared at me. Come, let us go and see Sastri, I suggested. We will find out whether Guru and Sunny are favorable for you or not. Ranga accompanied me without any protest. As soon as Sastri saw me, he exclaimed, "What a surprise, Syama! Haven't seen you for a long time." Now, see the explanation. Ranga insists that everything is fine with him and he is his normal self. Means he is not having any headache. narrator very witty makes a remark that he went through the same feelings when he was seeing a girl for himself, and immediately mentions that it could not be the reason for Ranga. Furthermore, he suggested that they should go and see Shastri. If the stars means Guru for Jupiter and Sunny for Saturn, are in their favor, Ranga went with him near the Shastri. On seeing Shastri ji, he implied not having seen the narrator in a long while. But what is the fact? Means only before that he met with the Shastri and tutored him all the things that has to say to the Ranga. Now here the Shastri started pretending. He implied not having seen the narrator in a long while, which is obviously not true, as they had met before the same morning. Okay, and Shastri said, "What a surprise, Syama! Haven't you seen you for a long time?" Okay, now next we will see in next video, and I hope this story is this story is very interesting. It is the combination of the olden days and the modern era. Okay, so I hope you like it, and just go through the previous video and watch it carefully, and after again watch this video, and then you will understand the story. Next part we will cover in the next video. Till then, take care. Goodbye.